Welcome back to another episode on Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson. I'm an anxiety coach who has struggled with anxiety disorder for over 3 years and now have been anxiety free for over 9 years and now help other people that are struggling with anxiety to overcome theirs. And the way we do it is all naturally. On today's episode, I had a request from Danny. He left a comment on one of my episodes asking me, what does it feel like to finally snap out of anxiety? What does it feel like not to have any anxiety anymore? And that is a very good question because we are right now so used to thinking in a certain way, and the feelings and what we are experiencing, we're so used to because some of us, we may be struggling with for a month or some of us for many years. So the thing is over here is that number one is that we always think, like, am I ever going to overcome anxiety? Am I always going to be stuck like this for the rest of my life? And if I do, how do I know that I'm actually anxiety free? How do I actually know that I actually finally snapped out? And people have asked me this before, like, Emmanuel, you don't think about anxiety anymore? Like, you don't have any you don't feel anxious or like have those thoughts or like it disturbing you day to day? No, I don't have it anymore. And I was thinking back, I'm like, when did that actually became a thing where I finally snapped out of anxiety and I stopped thinking about it? And it wasn't a specific point where like, okay, you know what? It was this day that I snapped out of anxiety. I do remember when I snapped out of DPDR because that was a major symptom that I was experiencing, and that was really, really hard on me. And I think that was like one of the hardest symptoms that I ever experienced because of somebody that went through DPR. They understand the intensity and the way it makes you believe that you're going insane and the thoughts that you have and everything about it was really scary. But that I do remember snapping out, and I will never forget that feeling. I'll never forget that moment. And I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing. I was getting off the bus. I remember I spoke about this a few episodes ago about me being afraid of going on buses, and this is where I started to break my fear. So I was on the bus on my own, and I was going to my cousin's barbershop just to hang out with him, take a haircut. And on the way there, I get off the bus, and I'm walking to his barbershop. And while I'm walking, all of a sudden, I remember where I was. I was next to this restaurant, and then all of a sudden, I just, boom, snapped out of it. I'm like, whoa. I'm back to my old self. I'm like, whoa. That moment, I never felt so, it was like the most happiest moment ever. Because I always thought that, and I always believed I'm going to be stuck like this for the rest of my life, and I screwed myself up, and that's it. Like, this is who I am, because I thought it was from the weed that I used to smoke, and I thought that's why I was getting affected. But I finally snapped out of it, and that was amazing. But I still struggle with anxiety. I still had panic attacks, and I still have these thoughts and everything still, but I didn't have DPDR, so it reduced. My anxiety started to calm down, but I was still struggling with it. But where was that point where I no longer had those thoughts or anything like that? And I'll tell you the truth is that I never came to realize whenever that transition happened. It kind of just happened because the way I dealt with my anxiety was, I used tools and techniques. I did a therapy part where I started to heal myself and, my past. And also as well, I developed myself in general. Besides the anxiety, besides dealing with the tools and the techniques, and besides applying that to my anxiety, I also worked on myself internally, like mentally and also like emotionally, spiritually as well. And that really helped me to gradually start to feel much better. I started to do things that I love, things that I enjoy, because that affects us. And all these things, they take in consideration of affecting your anxiety and, your repair process and, you healing yourself. So it does definitely take time. And I know some people, I want to address this in this episode, that some people say like, oh, I don't like the term using healing. And I've met a lot of people like that, and I understand where they're coming from. But the reason why I use the word healing is because your sympathetic nervous system is not operating correctly. And that's what's causing our anxiety disorder. That's why we have an anxiety disorder, and we need to heal that. That's the thing. So if we heal the sympathetic nervous system, our anxiety can go away. Of course, we need to do much more than that. We need to also as well rewire our mind and the way we think and our mindset. And this is why I'm telling you that whenever I started to work on myself, on my mindset and my emotional mindset and my spirituality, all these things, it definitely did help my anxiety to help me to calm down and to feel much better. But there was never a point where I said to myself, like, whoa, I snapped out of it. What happened was that I gradually started to get out of it. And then all of a sudden, it was like for about a few days. And I'm like, whoa, Emmanuel, I'm like, you haven't thought about anxiety for a while. That's a little weird. Like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you thinking about anxiety? Something doesn't make sense over here. That's what I told myself. I'm like, no. That means I'm doing much better and I'm improving myself. Like, I don't need to think about anxiety. It doesn't mean there's something wrong. It doesn't mean that. It just means that I'm doing much better. And I was. And then after a while, it started to like not think about anxiety. And I started to like go out. I'm like, people would ask me like, oh, let's do this or let's go here or let's go there. And I wanted to go over here or wanted to do that. I just did it. And I realized whenever I would speak with other people with anxiety, whenever they would talk to me, I'm like, I don't think like that anymore. It's like, wait, I don't even think about anxiety anymore. That's how you know you snapped out of anxiety. That's how you know you're doing much better. That's how you know you're feeling much better. Now, of course, you have to understand that you will have ups and downs with anxiety. You'll have ups and downs, but you will no longer have an anxiety disorder. You'll just have regular anxiety, which is much, much better. And you'll have the tools now. You'll have much more tools in knowing how to deal with regular anxiety. That's the amazing part because, again, we have stresses in life. That's going to happen. We're going to have stressful moments in life, and we have to know how to handle it. The key is over here is to always develop ourselves, to always continuously grow, to always develop and to expand ourselves and learn from our mistakes. Like I have certain situations that I experience and then I look back, I'm like, okay, Emmanuel, next time you could have acted differently or you could have done something differently. So you can prepare for this kind of situation. What can we do? So that way I can be prepared and next time I will act differently and be more mindful. Like I remember I spoke about this a few episodes ago about one day I was walking home and right away I was thinking that my house was just, with my wife and the two kids, that she was just feeling overwhelmed and it was just too much for her to handle and the house was crazy. And I said to myself, oh, like you've done that before. You have told yourself this thing before and you've gone home and everything was fine. Like, why are you stressing yourself out? Like, wait a minute. Let's think about something else. Let's think about it differently because that's also a possibility. And that's what I did. I changed that situation and everything. We're going to have certain situations in life, no matter how much we're going to be prepared, that we need to continue. We are going to continuously grow from it. But the thing is that learn from the mistakes and grow from that. So whenever you have anxiety, like you have those ups and downs while you're overcoming anxiety, like some days you'll feel great. And then some days you'll feel like you went back to square one. But like take those moments and just grow from them and say, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to strengthen myself in knowing how to handle my anxiety and not getting frustrated. Like, why am I still dealing with this? But eventually, if you do that, you eventually get to the point like you'll no longer experience anxiety and you'll be fine. And you won't even think about anxiety. That's how you know you snapped out of it. You stopped thinking about anxiety. Like today, I talk about anxiety most of the day. Right? I deal with people on my one-on-one coaching, right? I do the podcast. I do videos. Majority of the day is just about anxiety. But even with that, I don't think about anxiety when I go home or when I'm out with my family or going places and doing things. I'm not thinking about anxiety because I already snapped out of it. That's what it is. So that's how you know you snapped out of it. You no longer think about anxiety. But you have to understand you're going to have those times whenever you're healing yourself, whenever you're trying to overcome your anxiety, well, you have those ups and downs or you'll feel great. But in the back end, you're still thinking about anxiety. That's the thing. You'll still think about it. And that's where you know, okay, you know what? I feel great. I'm still thinking about anxiety. And then I'll have a bad day. But that bad day, I'm going to learn from that bad day to pick myself back up. You understand? That's the thing. I'm going to learn from that and I'm going to build myself so that way I don't experience anxiety and I experience it less and less and less until I get to the point where I'm no longer going to have those down days. You understand? So whenever today, right? Whenever I do feel overwhelmed or I do feel stressed out and sometimes I do have anxiety, again, normal anxiety, normal situations, I already know how to handle those situations because of my anxiety disorder. So let's say, for example, like I feel nervous about roller coasters. I do not like roller coasters. I remember the first time I went to a roller coaster was with my wife when we were dating. We went to Coney Island. There was I forgot what it's called over there. But we went to that roller coaster over there the first time ever, and I was terrified. And I spoke to him. I was like, Emmanuel, you're going to have a good time. What's the chances that something bad happened? That roller coaster has been there for 90 years. It's been there and nothing ever bad happened. Who are you to think that you're special, that something bad is going to happen to you over there? No. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to enjoy it there. We're going to have a good time. And you're going to come out of that place and you're going to start laughing and everything like that. And whatever I thought, the positive, that's exactly what it was. I was clinging on holding to that railing like dear life, like my life depended on it. And then afterwards, whenever I got off, I was just laughing. I was laughing my ass off. So I did have anxiety before the roller coaster, which is normal, which is a normal anxiety, but I already knew how to calm myself down and conquer that fear. And conquering that fear, which is big. Or whenever I had to make a different kind of career move from what I did beforehand to become an anxiety coach, it was scary for me to do that. I'm like, wait, but I've never done this before. Yeah, I've done it for myself and a few people that I've helped, but who says I'm going to become successful with this? Right? That's what I thought to myself. But I said, whoa, like, why are you thinking about that? Like, what are you thinking about that you're going to fail? Like, why do you think right away it's not going to be good or you're going to make a mistake? Or, like, who are you to, like, help people with anxiety? You don't have a degree in psychology, right? That's what I used to think. But I told myself, like, wait. I have experience with anxiety. I know exactly what it feels like. I know exactly what they're thinking about. I know exactly what to do to overcome it, just the way I did it. So why not? Who says I can't? Just because I don't have a degree? That doesn't give me validation. My experience gives me my validation. That's what it is. I don't need that external validation. I need my own validation. That's what I told myself. Like, Emmanuel, you're going to do great in this. You're going to help people. And I told myself, even if you help one person, just that one person, that's going to be worth it. But I told myself, like, yeah, but it's going to take me time because you have a family to feed now. How are you just going to leave your current job and just, like, do this now? Like, how are you going to do that? Like, you have a family to feed. That's scary. And that's normal anxiety. So I have to talk myself up and say, you know what? I'm going to build out a plan. I'm going to do certain things in order for me to make sure that we're going to be okay in the meantime. So that way I can build this thing and help people and have an impact in something that I love doing, something that I enjoyed, and I've been thinking about it for years, but I always pushed it off. So I changed the narrative and I calmed down the anxiety. So I'm able to do that. And if I never went through an anxiety disorder, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to. But you see, that's normal anxiety to have. And it's good that we have that anxiety so that I can prepare myself. And that's exactly what I did. I prepared myself for the situation to make sure that we're going to be okay. And make sure that I'm going to do great in this field and helping people out. And thankfully, I have been able to help people out, which is amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. It humbles me to hear that, and I love it. I'm like, this is so worth doing. The impact that I have on people. But again, that's normal anxiety to have, like I said before. But right now we don't have, we're either scared about everything, and we have our sympathetic nervous system is just haywired, and we need to heal that. And you will see eventually you won't even think about anxiety. That's how you know you snapped out of it. You no longer experience it. And also, even if you experience DPDR, you will feel the difference that all of a sudden you feel that snap. Boom, like, whoa, I'm not thinking, like, I feel like I'm back in reality. That's how you know you snapped out of DPDR. If you are looking for a natural remedy in order to help you to deal with your anxiety and help you on your journey to overcome it, I created Calmly CBD, where it specifically helps you to calm down your anxiety and panic attacks. And as well, it doesn't make you feel drowsy. It doesn't make you feel sleepy. And it helps you to just feel calm so you can actually do things throughout the day, like work, drive, go out, and do whatever you like in a more calmer state of mind, as well as not addictive or has any side effects or any withdrawals, which this way can actually help you to heal your anxiety and get you to the destination in overcoming your anxiety much quicker. You can click the link that's in the description. It would say Calmly CBD to place your order today. And then right now it's on sale for a limited time where you can buy one and get the second one free. If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because this way we're able to reach more people. And the more people that we can actually reach, the more people that we can actually help. Because my mission in this world, my purpose is to help people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally and show them that it's possible to overcome. Thank you guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.